Many people think that personal branding is a purely social media phenomenon, but that's not the case. And I have been working on the topic for over 18 years. And when I started, social media was not an issue. There was a bit of Facebook, there was a bit of LinkedIn. Everybody was laughing about Facebook. Haha, that'll never be anything. And today, of course, it is a big deal. But 20 years ago, that was just nothing that people were reckoning with, and where people were thinking that that could be even become that important. So personal branding has a long history. And if you're interested in the evolution of personal branding, and if you want to know the trend and where the future will lead us, then stay tuned. My name is Petra Wuest. I'm an expert in self-branding and self-marketing, and I help experts like you to have the visibility, the impact, and the opportunities they deserve. And if you want that too, and if you think that's important to you, then subscribe to my channel. When I started working on personal branding 18 years ago, people had no awareness that that topic is something important. What counted was the work that they did, and they had the idea, my work speaks for itself. So the means to show that you're competent, the means to show that you do a good job was by performance. So all you needed was to perform, to do your work, and then the work would speak for itself. When companies started to reorganize more frequently, there were mergers going on, and the competition between the employees grew much stronger, people developed a sense that it's important to talk about what you do and to make your work and your contribution visible. But we were still in the analog world, and what counted was much more the networking. The networking one-on-one, attending networking events, networking with people in your environment. And when it comes to wanting a raise in salary or you wanting a promotion, the person who counted was your boss. And that's an interesting difference between 15 years ago and today. So the idea was that I succeed if I can position myself with my line manager. So if my line manager, my boss, knows the good things that I do, that'll be enough. And the means to do that was the performance review. So at least once a year, some did it more than once a year, maybe twice, but the majority did it once a year. You know, the performance review, you were sitting with your line manager, and then you could tell them all about your successes and what you have done throughout the year. Of course, I advise you to do it more often. So if you still do performance review, the idea is not just to do it once a year, but to do it on a regular basis, a bit lower key, not in that very official meeting. And then social media hit. And social media changed that world completely. Because now it was not just your intimate circle of people that you were working with, your line manager, your boss, boss. It was suddenly people outside of that scope. People you didn't even know, people around the globe who you haven't even met before were suddenly network partners where you could position yourself. So the self-promotion moved into virtual space. And now the new idea is that I have the most success if I tap into new online networks. A lot of people think that they have to gain more and more contacts. And here is a danger. And I want to point this out to you. So beware. It's not about how many people you have in your network. It's about the quality of the people in your network. There's important people, important stakeholders who have an influence on your success. And there's a lot of people who have no influence on your success, who might be interesting people, but who will not influence your success. And if you spend too much time on networking with these people who in fact cannot support you in any way in your career, that is not very smart. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying it's wrong. If you can learn something, it's always nice, it's always good, but it's not very helpful. Although we are online now, figure out who are the important people. Who are the people who really have an influence on my success? And that are your most important network partners. That's where we stand now. And now comes the really interesting part, because now we look towards the future and now we see, what's coming next. And coming next, if you look at what's going on in the industry, all the transformation in most of the larger companies moving agile organization, self-organizing team, some even do holacracy. That shifts that power game within the company completely. So now, because work becomes so complex, the team has become a completely new importance. So whereas in earlier days, when work was less complex, you did a lot on your own, now the team is super important, and most of the achievements you achieve in a team. So what happens to personal branding is that personal branding becomes more and more team branding. So it's not about showing what I can do, I'm good at this, but showing what the team as a whole can do, because in the end, we do it together. And that is an important and an interesting point. And the good thing about team branding, or the challenging thing as well about team branding, is that if you have a team, 5 people, 7 people, 9 people, that team in the end has to come up with one solution. So what we're looking at is one solution. And finding that one solution, that one way, that one brand is a process where we get to know our colleagues much better. We discuss the strengths of the team. How does the team want to be perceived? What achievements does the team have? What can the team present to the outside world? What is the contribution of the team? By discussing this and by finding that one solution, that team will grow together. So very important question in this team branding process is, as a team, what do we want to stand for? What is our goal? What is the most important thing that we want to achieve together? What are our contributions? What are these contributions that we want to show towards the outside world? And how can we talk about our work? How can we talk about the successes of our team, about this contribution, so that our stakeholders, other teams, other people inside our company, outside our company, that they know what we're doing and when they can approach us and with what kind of questions. And that is something important in branding. You solve certain problems, you have answers to certain questions, but if nobody knows what problems you solve and what questions you answer, how do they want to tap into you as a resource? So by showing what you have to offer as a team, by working on your team brand, by going out there, by talking about what you do, you help others to tap into your expertise and your resources. And by doing this, you will help the company grow. So the idea behind that is, we have the greatest impact when we as a team add value to the organization and move the organization forward. That's the goal of team branding. And that is a super exciting process. And if you want to go through that process, or if you want to learn more about, what we do in team branding, then send me a message. You'll find all the contact details in the show notes. And I'm looking forward to meeting you very much.